Hello, everyone. Theme of the video: traffic signs. The traffic signs are located on the side or top of the road. They give directions on how we should behave on the road so that the traffic can proceed safely and smoothly. Everyone must know the traffic signs. Prohibitory signs. The prohibition signs forbid a certain action. They indicate certain actions that road users are not allowed to do. Sign entry prohibited. Straight prohibited or no entry. These signs are located at places where the vehicles are not allowed to enter. Sign buses prohibited. A buses prohibited sign means that buses are not allowed on the road or the area. This prohibition is often due to narrow roads, structural limitations, safety concerns, or to prevent disruption to residents or historic sites. The sign typically features a bus pictogram within a red circle and is often accompanied by additional text or an exemption plate to specify the exact nature of the restriction. Sign cars prohibited. A cars prohibited sign means that all motorized vehicles, including cars, motorcycles, and trucks, are forbidden from entering the designated area. This sign is often seen in pedestrian zones or at the end of one-way roads to prevent wrong-way traffic. The specific image varies, but typically features a red circle with a white horizontal bar or a red-bordered circle with a symbol for a car or motor vehicle inside. Sign caravans prohibited. A caravans prohibited or no towed caravans sign means that you are not allowed to tow a caravan on that particular road or area, typically due to narrowness, safety concerns, or potential traffic congestion. This regulatory sign, which features a red-bordered circle with a caravan pictogram, indicates that drivers with caravans must find an alternative route. Sign cyclists prohibited. A cyclist prohibited sign, typically a red circle with a bicycle symbol inside, means that riding a bicycle is forbidden in the area beyond the sign. Cyclists must find an alternative route, or, if they need to proceed, must dismount and walk their bicycle through the prohibited area. Sign direction prohibited. Road with one-way traffic. The direction prohibited sign at the end of a one-way street means do not enter or wrong way and prohibits vehicles from entering that roadway because traffic is only permitted in the opposite direction. This prohibitory sign, often a red circle with a white horizontal bar or the words "do not enter" on a sign, is a warning that you should not drive into the roadway from that side. Sign horse carts prohibited. A horse cart prohibited or no horse-drawn vehicles sign means that horse-drawn carts, carriages, or other horse-pulled vehicles are not allowed on the road or pathway where the sign is posted. These signs are often found on modern, high-traffic roads like bypasses, dual carriageways, or busy streets to prevent traffic congestion and safety hazards caused by slow-moving, horse-drawn vehicles. Sign equestrians prohibited. An equestrians prohibited sign indicates that horseback riders and their horses are forbidden from entering a specific road, pathway, or area, usually due to safety concerns like hazard for the horses, riders, or other traffic users, or to protect a sensitive path. These signs are examples of regulatory prohibition signs, which are often read and are required to clearly communicate forbidden behaviors. Sign motorcycles prohibited. A motorcycles prohibited sign, typically a circular sign with a red border and a red bar across a motorcycle symbol on a white background, means that motorcycles, mopeds, and similar vehicles are not allowed to pass or enter the area beyond the sign. These signs are regulatory, informing motorcyclists they cannot proceed on that specific road or into that restricted area, which could include pedestrian zones or sensitive routes. Sign motorcycles and cars prohibited. A sign stating motorcycles and cars prohibited signifies that all motor vehicles are banned from entering the area or road beyond that point. This is typically represented by a circular sign with a red border, a white background, and black symbols of a car and a motorcycle inside. The purpose of this sign is to reserve the area for pedestrians, cyclists, and other non-motorized forms of transport by restricting motorized traffic. Sign pedestrians prohibited. A pedestrians prohibited sign means that people on foot are not allowed to be in the area where the sign is posted, typically for safety reasons, such as on a road with heavy vehicle traffic or a dangerous construction zone. These signs are a type of regulatory sign that communicates a mandatory, not allowed message to the public. Overtaking prohibited. The overtaking prohibited sign is a regulatory traffic sign, typically a white circle with a red border and an image of two cars, one black, one red, that informs drivers it is illegal and unsafe to pass other vehicles in the same direction. This restriction is usually in effect due to reduced visibility or other hazardous conditions, such as blind bends or hills. Drivers must remain in their lane and avoid overtaking until they see a sign indicating the restriction has ended. Sign begin of a speed limit. A speed limit begins at the location of the speed limit sign, indicating the maximum legal speed you can travel under good conditions. If you see a speed limit sign for a higher speed, you can only legally accelerate to that speed once you pass the sign itself. Conversely, you must reduce your speed to the new, lower limit before reaching the sign, or you risk being ticketed for speeding. Sign begin of a zone with speed limit. A sign indicating the begin of a zone with speed limit signifies that you are entering an area where the speed limit, as shown on the sign, is the maximum legal speed for that road. Drivers are legally required to reduce their speed to or below the posted limit by the time they reach the sign. Sign end of zone with speed limit. The end of speed limit zone sign indicates that a temporary or specific speed restriction you were previously following has ended, and you can now resume driving at the standard speed limit for that type of road or any new speed limit posted beyond the sign. This sign often appears after a school zone, construction zone, or other area where a lower speed was enforced for safety reasons. Sign turning left prohibited. A turning left prohibited or no left turn sign means you are forbidden to turn left at that intersection or junction under any circumstances. The sign typically features a black arrow pointing left inside a red circle with a red diagonal line across it, indicating prohibition. When you see this sign, you must continue straight or turn right if allowed. Sign turning right prohibited. A turning right prohibited sign, often appearing as a black right pointing arrow in a red circle with a diagonal red line through it, means that making a right turn at that specific location is forbidden by law. This prohibition is for safety or to improve traffic flow and congestion. And when you see this sign, you must not turn right. Instead, you should proceed straight ahead, turn left if permitted, or take an alternative route to your destination. Sign turning around prohibited, U-turn. Turning around prohibited, U-turn. Sign means a driver cannot legally reverse the direction of travel at that location by performing a U-turn. These regulatory signs, typically a black U-shaped arrow with a red circle and a diagonal line through it, are placed at intersections and other road segments to prevent accidents by prohibiting unsafe or disruptive 180-degree turns. Drivers must instead find a legal alternative, such as an alternative route or a different intersection that permits a U-turn. Sign vehicles with dangerous goods prohibited. A vehicles with dangerous goods prohibited sign indicates that vehicles carrying dangerous, hazardous, or explosive materials are not allowed to enter the restricted area or road ahead. This restriction is in place to prevent increased risk to emergency services, the public, and the environment from potential incidents like fires, spills, or explosions in sensitive areas, which are harder to manage in tunnels or locations with limited access. Sign vehicles with explosive materials prohibited. A vehicles with explosive materials prohibited sign, often a circular sign with a red border and a black explosion symbol, means vehicles transporting explosive materials are forbidden from entering the restricted area due to safety risks. The sign is used to prevent catastrophic incidents and protect public safety in sensitive zones like populated areas, tunnels, or near hazardous facilities, requiring drivers with relevant cargo to find an alternate route. Sign vehicles higher than indicated prohibited. The vehicles higher than indicated prohibited sign, often appearing as a red border triangular warning sign with a number and arrows, means that vehicles exceeding the specified height are not permitted to proceed, typically to avoid hitting a low bridge or overpass. Drivers of tall vehicles should follow any detour signs to find an alternate route, as ignoring the prohibition can lead to damage or a dangerous situation. Sign vehicles longer than indicated prohibited. A vehicle's longer than indicated prohibited sign means that any vehicle exceeding the specific length displayed on the sign is not allowed to pass that point. This restriction is a regulatory sign, often appearing before a hazard like a low bridge, tunnel, or narrow road, and is intended to prevent accidents, damage, and traffic blockages. Drivers of vehicles that are longer than the indicated measurement must find a different route. Sign vehicles heavier than indicated prohibited. A vehicle's heavier than indicated prohibited sign means that a road or bridge has a maximum weight limit, and vehicles whose total weight, including their load, exceeds the specified limit are forbidden from entering or crossing that area. These signs are typically found on infrastructure like bridges and underpasses to prevent structural damage or ensure safety, and failure to comply can result in penalties. Sign trucks heavier than indicated prohibited. The sign trucks heavier than indicated prohibited means that vehicles with a total gross weight exceeding the specific limit shown on the sign are forbidden from entering the road or area where the sign is posted. The number on the sign represents the maximum allowed weight in tons, and it is illegal to drive past the sign if your truck and its load are heavier than this specified limit. Sign vehicles wider than indicated prohibited. The sign vehicles wider than indicated prohibited means that any vehicle, including its load, that exceeds the specific width shown on the sign is not allowed to proceed past that point, often due to a narrow road, bridge, or other structure ahead. Drivers must not enter this section of the road if their vehicle is wider than the limit, and they should look for a detour or alternative route for wider vehicles. Sign entry prohibited checkpoint. An entry prohibited checkpoint sign means that you're not allowed to proceed or enter the area beyond that point, typically because it is a controlled zone or security checkpoint where access is restricted. The checkpoint may enforce traffic laws, control pedestrian access, or be a location where security measures are in place to prevent unauthorized entry. Sign parking prohibited. A parking prohibited or no parking sign means that stopping your vehicle in that area is not allowed, or at least not for a period longer than what's required for immediate passenger or goods loading/unloading. The sign's purpose is to prevent traffic obstructions, ensure safety by keeping sight lines clear, allow access for emergency vehicles, maintain pedestrian flow, and prevent drivers from being issued fines or having their vehicles towed. Sign parking and stopping prohibited. A parking and stopping prohibited sign means you cannot stop your vehicle for any reason, including to pick up or drop off passengers, load or unload goods, or leave the vehicle unattended. The only exceptions are if you're directed by a police officer or if you must stop due to an unavoidable emergency or traffic conditions. This type of sign is typically found in high-risk areas to ensure unobstructed access for emergency vehicles and maintain traffic flow. Sign road narrowing, give way to oncoming drivers. The sign, road narrowing, give way to oncoming drivers, means the road ahead becomes narrow, and you must yield to any vehicles approaching from the opposite direction. You should slow down and be prepared to stop to let them pass before you continue through the reduced width section of road.